Hello everybody, you're welcome back again to the Reggae Appreciation Society. It goes without saying that the music industry can be a very treacherous and brutal place, loaded with many stories of betrayal, manipulation, and a crazy love for money. But amidst so many dark chapters, the 30-year plus partnership and relationship of Chaka, Demus and Pliers is simply a breath of fresh air, an exemplary showcase of loyalty and friendship. They were among the biggest acts of the 1990s, an epoch unanimously regarded as dancehall's golden era, and indeed the greatest duo in the genre, with one of the longest running careers in the business. Chaka Demus is one phenomenal toaster, while Pliers is among the smoothest singers of his generation. But raw talent alone is not the real driver of their success and longevity. Their secret weapon is mutual respect, professionalism, and an unbreakable bond which has withstood the test of time. The most incredible example of this is how this duo survived a mighty temptation, with one of them rejecting what was an obscene amount of money to go solo. Let's take a look at how an industry record label giant tried and failed to break up the dynamic duo of Chaka Demus and Pliers. By early 1992, gruff-voiced toaster John Taylor, aka Chaka Demus, and silky-voiced crooner Everton Bonner, aka Pliers, were both established solo artists in their own right, with big singles that rocked the Jamaican charts and airwaves for years, like Chaka Demus' Young Gal Business and my favorite track of his, In Spirit, as well as Pliers' Bias Them Bias and Murder She Wrote. Both guys were big fans of each other's work, but it was Chaka Demus who came up with the idea of both guys joining forces. As fate would have it, they met one day at the US Embassy in Kingston, where they had gone to apply for visas en route to perform at a show in New York. Both guys became pals during the concert, and after the concert was over, Chaka Demus, who had a show of his own in Miami in a few days, convinced the promoter to include Pliers on the same billing. The pair would freestyle together over a rhythm, and was so devastating and impressive that their performance was hailed as the high point of the whole show. Their chemistry was off the chain, and they immediately knew that they had the makings of a solid partnership and duo not seen since the emergence of Michigan and Smiley. And once they got back to Jamaica, the duo hit the studio to record their first single, Gal Wine, that was produced by Ossie Hibbert and powered by the instrumentals of Sly Dunbar and Robbie Shakespeare. Upon release, that record would burst into the top 10 in Jamaica in record time. Their combo was fire, and other tracks they recorded would also storm Jamaica's charts back to back, like Them a Watch Me and Smile. But it was the track Bad Mind that saw them get exposed internationally, as it got picked up and distributed by UK-based record label Greensleeves Records before the end of the year. And those songs and others would go into their debut album, also titled Gal Wine, which also made heavy waves in Jamaica. And by the time their second album, Rock This Year, came out in early 1993, Chaka Demus and Pliers were bona fide superstars in Jamaica with a fast-growing fan base abroad. In what was the early 1990s, the big international record labels had discovered the endless goldmine that was Jamaican dancehall artists. Epic Records had signed Shabba Ranks in 1991, and he would bag monster hits as well as Grammy Awards for As Raw As Ever and Extra Naked. Columbia Records also struck gold with Supercats with the release of his hit album Don Dada. Very eager to get a piece of the action, Atlantic Records were on the lookout for the next big thing, and Chaka Demus and Pliers quickly appeared on their radar. But there was one hiccup though. They wanted Chaka Demus as a solo artist, I believe, to match the formula of the solo superstars who were ruling that era, and of course they believed that the single artist model was more marketable and convenient. Atlantic Records representatives got hold of Chaka Demus' home phone number and gave him a call to offer him a deal with a huge sign-on fee. Interestingly, Chaka Demus and Pliers had already gotten an offer from Island Records, but the money Atlantic was offering was almost triple what Island had promised them. Chaka Demus turned it down and told the man on the phone that there was no way he would drop Pliers. When the man told him to consider the amount of money on the table, he replied in a heartbeat that money wasn't everything before hanging up the phone. Seeing they couldn't get Chaka Demus, the label went on to sign Lieutenant Stitchie. Chaka Demus and Pliers signed for Island Records a few days later, and their first single, Under Island, named Tease Me, became a super smash hit that charted in many countries. It reached number 3 on the UK charts and stayed there for 3 months. and they soon after released their third album in Tease Me, which went to number 1 in the UK charts and stayed up there for 2 weeks, making them the first Jamaican act to reach number 1 in the UK charts since Boris Gardner 8 years before. The next single, Twist and Shout, also went to number 1 on the UK charts, but the biggest track of that album was the simply massive Murder She Wrote that rocked and ruled dance floors all over the globe for years to come. And after their fourth album, For Every Kind of People, they took a break from recording and went on to a huge series of global tours and ended that decade among the biggest artists on the planet. In what I would call delicious irony, their run of form would outlast that of the solo superstars like Cutty Ranks, Shabba Ranks, or Supercat. The single artist model that record labels expected to last eventually didn't. Chaka Demus has in recent interviews said he was certain that he would never have enjoyed the long powerful career that he had if he had sold Pliers out on that fine morning in 1993. The duo is still going strong as friends, still touring and putting in regular performances on the biggest stages and reggae festivals worldwide. To me, they are the standard bearers of what a partnership and friendship is supposed to be like. A shining example and rarity in the music business and life itself, and living proof of the fact that money isn't everything. So there you have it. Thank you for watching this video today. Please leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, God bless.